Good morning, Emerson. Today is Tuesday, November 4th. Last Thursday, beloved Boston Mayor Thomas Menino passed away. Menino was the longest-serving mayor that Boston has ever seen because of his fierce fight for social, environmental, and economic reform in our city.
And Sir Richard Branson's Spaceship Two, a pioneer in private spaceflight, crashed over the coast of California. Claire Kerr will tell you all about the fatal accident.
Good morning, Emerson. I'm Christian Mudrick.
And I'm Mike Canalupo. Welcome to Good Morning, Emerson. Christian, how was your Halloween weekend?
It wasn't bad. I think my favorite moment was when I saw you and Maggie in a balcony dancing to Chandelier.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that doesn't come back to haunt me in about 20 minutes. I mean, me and Maggie had so much fun while we were doing it, but there were so many videos being taken, and I've just watched me and Maggie on national television one day, and somebody's going to bring it up.
Be like, what about this skeleton in your closet? Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that you had a good time.
Yeah, we had a good time.
But later on, Maddie is going to be sitting down with Paul Lazo and Michelle Kwong to talk about their BFA project here at Emerson.
Yeah, BFA acceptance letters were just released yesterday to juniors. So absolutely. Sophomores, it's about time to soon start thinking about applying. So if you want to learn more about the BFA program, stay tuned for this interview. Right. And then also stay tuned because it's election day.
Absolutely, and we're going to get into it about our...
Yeah, there's a big gubernatorial race, which... Let's say it together.
Gubernatorial. Who doesn't love that word?
Come on. If you don't want to vote, just vote because it's gubernatorial. Yeah, the big race going on there. And Christian did his research, so he's going to tell you everything that you need to know about it.
Absolutely. And then Molly Miller will be in studio to teach us how to decorate some holiday cookies.
Yeah, more important than the gubernatorial race is Nutella cookies.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that'll be in studio. Well, this weekend, the entire city of Boston mourned the loss of its former mayor, Mayor Menino. Here with more on the story, here's Claire Kerr.
Good morning, everyone. A lot happened over the weekend, so let's get started with today's news. A funeral for former Boston Mayor Thomas M. Menino took place yesterday. Menino was remembered as a man with a deep love for Boston who guided the city through 2 decades of significant change. Current Mayor Marty Walsh described Menino as, quote, relentless, big-hearted, and people-loving, someone who believed in the underdogs. The ceremony was held at the Most Precious Blood Church in Hyde Park, where Menino was baptized and served as an altar boy growing up. The funeral procession visited some of Menino's favorite places throughout Boston in his honor. Menino passed away Thursday at the age of 71 after a lengthy battle with cancer. He was Boston's longest-serving mayor and certainly one of its most beloved. Brittany Maynard, who became the public face of the Right to Die movement, ended her own life over the weekend. 29-year-old Maynard was diagnosed with stage 4 brain cancer last spring, and doctors told her she had 6 months to live. She made international headlines when she publicly announced that she intended to die on her own will under Oregon's Death with Dignity Act. She followed through with this on Saturday when she took doctor-prescribed medication and passed away at her home in Portland, Oregon. She reportedly left behind messages for her family and friends, and she posted on Facebook, quote, "Goodbye world, spread good energy, pay it forward." Maynard's death has elevated attention over the national right to die debate, especially among young people. And Apple's CEO, Tim Cook, has reportedly made history as the first Fortune 500 CEO to be openly gay. Cook decided to go public last week when he announced that he is, quote, proud to be gay in Business Week. This is a significant event in the business world where there is often a stereotype of heterosexual privilege. Research conducted by the Williams Institute indicates that lesbian, gay, and bisexual Americans are more likely to be living in poverty compared to heterosexual individuals. Tim Cook stands as an inspiration to many people in the LGBT community. He is a multimillionaire, and Cook was number 19 on Forbes 2013, the world's most powerful people list. And it looks like the Virgin Galactic Spaceship Two investigation may take up to a year. The National Transportation Board announced this Sunday night. The agency's chairman stressed that it is unclear what exactly caused the spacecraft to disintegrate in the air. The Spaceship Two broke down Friday, 2 minutes after the space plane separated from the jet-powered aircraft that carried it. The accident killed co-pilot Michael Tyner Alsbury, who was 39 years old. The surviving co-pilot, Peter Siebold, is apparently alert and in stable condition. Debris from the aircraft spanned over a 5-mile stretch of Mojave, California, and a team of investigators will be on site in the Mojave Desert for about a week, yet analyzing the data from the test aircraft will reportedly take much longer. Well, that's all the news I have for now. Back to Kristen and Mike on the couch.
Thanks, Claire. I want to take it back to Mayor Menino for a second. What legacy does he leave behind for the city of Boston?
Oh my goodness, well his legacy certainly lives on. Yeah. I mean, as college students here, most of us didn't grow up with him as our mayor, but I mean, we're living in his legacy. He pushed for the clean, safe place that Boston is today, fought against gun violence, and really stood up for ordinary people, the underdogs, like we said. He was a people person, and we're all benefiting from his legacy.
Yeah, a lot of people tell me who have lived in the city for a long time that where I live now, 20 years ago, you would not want to set foot.
Right.
Mission Hill is much more beautiful today.
It's beautiful.
Thanks to him.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
and
Mayor
it makes
Menino.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Menino, for such a wonderful city to attend college in.
Yeah, and Claire.
Thank you, Claire.
Gotcha.
Stealing my line. But speaking of Boston, the weather this weekend was absolutely insane. And I just have one question. Did it really snow on
yesterday?
Sunday? On Sunday.
Thanks, Christian and Mike. Yes, on Sunday, we experienced our first snowfall of the school year here in Boston. It wasn't the kind of first snow you would see in a Christmas movie. We are talking bitter cold winds and massive slushy snowflakes. At least Jack Frost was nice enough to give us a heads up on what's to come. Thankfully, we came out of our wet, hollow weekend to a sunny Monday with temperatures back in the lower 50s. Today will be mostly sunny with an expected high of 54 degrees. We'll be getting a break from the freezing 35-mile-per-hour wind gusts that were blowing us away yesterday. Today's winds are expected to stay around only 5 miles per hour. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with lows in the mid-40s later on. The sun is setting much earlier now because daylight saving time ended on Sunday, so you're likely to be thrown off when the sun goes down at 4:34 p.m. The dark, the storms, the cold. We are really getting hit hard with winter weather this week. Tomorrow we'll have this week's high of 63 degrees and partly cloudy skies. It will be the perfect day to go for a run along the Charles or a walk through the Common. Enjoy the fall foliage while you still can. Unfortunately, the rest of our 5-day forecast might rain on your parade. On Thursday, there's a 70% chance of rain with an expected high of 56 degrees. Those showers will carry over into Friday with an expected high of 57. The sun will come out from hiding on Saturday, but temperatures are expected to dip down in the upper 40s. Though you might be bummed that the wintry cold is finally here to stay, think of the positives. Sparkling snow, lights, good food, and holiday cheer are all on the horizon. Let's welcome the sweater weather with open, woolly arms. After all, there's no such thing as a short winter. Stay warm, and I'll see you all on Thursday. Back to you, Christian and Mike.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
It probably won't, though.
No, probably not. It's pretty dreary. But thank you, Lauren. Well, it's that time of year again. It's election day.
Yes, and are you registered to vote?
No, absolutely not.
I am, but I know that you know so much about this.
So much about
Ready?
this.
Let's do it.
Gubernatorial race. Absolutely.
Yeah, so tell me more about it and tell our viewers about it.
Okay, so make sure you get out there and vote today because we have in the Republican corner, so to speak, Charlie Baker, and then on the Democratic side we have Martha Coakley. And this is kind of a redemption story for both candidates here because they've both run before and they've both lost like easily winnable races before. Charlie Baker actually lost to Deval Patrick, who's the current governor of Massachusetts, and he easily could have taken that from him, but kind of just got flubbed back in the day. But then again, Massachusetts is a liberal state, so it was kind of
And then what about
obvious.
Martha Coakley?
So Martha Coakley ran for Senate in 2010, and she lost to Scott Brown. And the problem with that was she was the Democratic candidate and lost. So she lost the supermajority in Senate in Obama's first term, which was like a huge blow for the Democratic Party, clearly. And she actually had like some national shame because SNL actually made fun of her.
Right, and then 2 years later, Scott Brown lost the race in Massachusetts again, and now
Right.
he's running in New Hampshire. It's like, I lost in Massachusetts. Now I care about New Hampshire.
Yeah, I'm just going
Now I
to move
really-
around
But
until I'm in power.
like you're saying, it is interesting, this race right now, because Charlie Baker has a couple points lead in the polls.
Absolutely.
And he is a Republican, and as you just said, Massachusetts is known as a very liberal state.
Right, and what's special, it's kind of historic that the Boston Globe is actually endorsing Charlie Baker, which is historic because they've never actually backed a Republican candidate before. But make sure you get out there and vote today. I know that I'm going to be voting Daniel Sheehy 2016 for president because
And I'm actually going to be voting for the gubernatorial race.
I won't be. But
we have to take a quick break, but when we come back, Madeline Avery will be sitting down with Paul Lazo and Michelle Kwan. Oh, we're back.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back. Tonight, the Bruins play the red hot, and I'm talking red hot Florida Panthers. But this weekend, they look to start a winning streak against the Ottawa Senators. Logan, what went down?
Will the real Boston Bruins please stand up? The team should maybe consider changing its colors to black and blue with how beaten and injured these guys are. The likes of Zdeno Chara, Torrey Krug, and Kevin Miller have been sidelined. Those are team-defining players right there. But there is still plenty of time to climb the standings and get hot. After a comeback win in Buffalo, the Bees return home to face off against the Senators. We go first period early on. It is a slap shot, originally stopped, but it gets by the goalie right there. A big goal for Brad Marchand off the assist from Seidenberg, and 1-0 lead for the Bees. We take it now to the second period, where it is off of the misses. Matt Frazier, yes, Matt Frazier filling in for David Krejci. David Krejci might be out of a job with this guy. 1 of 2 goals on the night. Can't believe it right there for the Senators. Third period now with a 2-goal lead. It is once again, it is Seidenberg sealing it, a 4-1 lead at that point. They go on to win it easily, 4-2. Solid win, not enough of them this year. Next on the docket for the Bees is a romantic date with the Panthers back at TD Garden tonight. It doesn't take a lot to get me pumped up. That is a known fact here around GME. But this weekend's top plays from the NFL, whew, it had QBs dropping dimes and snags like nobody's business. I've gathered up and made the tough choice of just 5 jaw droppers from the weekend. We go to Cincinnati, where it is Jeremy One Tree Hill. We're putting on the Jets and getting by and just playing games with the Jaguars' safety. Jaguars football, that's not going to get it done. Bengals with a big win at home. And Big Ben, after 6 touchdowns last week, how does it follow up? Well, how about 6 more? This one to Antonio Brown. He's a very fast man. The Ravens don't know how to deal with that. He goes to 6 City, and again is a big Steelers wins. They are as hot as ever. Number 3 play now, it is Julian Edelman making moves, making plays, making his way downtown like a Disney Channel original movie. Coming down the field, Jacob Tamme, you're not going to get him. Guess who's left? The punter. You're not even considered an athlete, my friend. He's going to get the score, and we have more from this one coming up. Throw it in the stands, Julian. To number 2, it is Marshawn Lynch, who is stopped short of the goal line. Unbelievable. Wait. No, he's still going, getting in the end zone. He weighs a lot more than you do. He's been in the weight room all summer. I guess you haven't been. To number 1, it is Rob Gronkowski. Who else with just a just stop it, one-handed grab. He is an absolute monster. Man, oh man, Rob Gronkowski, you are unguardable. Number 1 play by far in my book, and a crazy Pats performance yesterday. Joe Madden is a familiar face to Sox fans. In Tampa Bay for the last 9 seasons, Madden had single-handedly transformed the notorious losers into a gritty group of winners, even making the franchise's only World Series appearance in 2008. But this guy has some nerve. He resigns from his contract with the Rays and heads on over to Chicago. Now, for some, that's head-scratching, but the reality is the Cubs are on the rise. With all-stars Anthony Rizzo and Starlin Castro and up-and-comers Javier Baez and Jorge Soler, these guys got more potential than Thomas the Train Engine. Another reason for his departure, well, money. But who doesn't like the green stuff? That's triple zeros for me. Back to the couch.
Thanks, Logan. Now, I know you just showed your top 5 plays of the NFL week, but The Dolphins won 37-0, so I understand why you couldn't include that in a highlight reel because it was just a whole highlight reel for 3 hours. But are you afraid of the Dolphins yet?
Me personally, I'm not afraid of the Dolphins because I know that they're completely different at home than on the road. I know you needed a shout out, but impressive win 37-0. I will give them that.
You're wrong.
Well, thanks, Logan.
Fear the Finn.
Didn't really understand any of this, but now we're going to send it over to Madeline Avery, who's going to sit down with Paul Lazo and Michelle Kwong, who are here to talk about their BFA project.
Fins up.
Fins down.
Thanks so much, Christian. Yes, I'm sitting down with Paul and Michelle to talk about Emerson's BFA film program. So first things first, guys, thank you for being here. And can you just tell me about what the BFA program entails?
So the BFA program takes place over the course of 2 semesters, and it's a thesis project that you create. It doesn't necessarily have to be a film. Our class has an audio project and a web series in it as well as a feature-length script. But if you are making a film, you take the first semester to do pre-production, so like writing and workshopping the script, preparing everything to make the film. You usually shoot over a break from school, and then the second semester you do post-production where you edit and complete the film.
Great, so it's a 2-semester long kind of program, and I know that you guys are actually making a film.
Yes.
So Paul, can you tell me about the film?
Inside Boxes is kind of like me personifying my anxiety through a couple's relationship. It's the characters' name are Jeffrey and Laura Bloom, and they decide to move in together. However, things kind of go haywire when Jeff begins to worry that maybe he's not. He begins to struggle with fears of commitment. And those fears of commitment kind of send him off the wire into these weird flashback sequences. He pricks his finger at one point and just blood spews all over his face. He's just so consumed with worry about the relationship that ultimately he is faced with the final decision he has to break up with her.
That's so interesting. And what has been the hardest part of, I guess, like because you're in the pre-production phase of the film in this semester, what's been the hardest obstacles for creating this film?
We're actually in the post-production phase. I think the hardest obstacle so far has just been, I think altogether the hardest obstacle is feedback from the class, because you never know what to expect.
Okay.
I already know, like, for example, they're going to say probably the movie's too long right now. Tonight, like, they're going to say that later tomorrow night.
It's like at a good place right now, I think. But like a lot of it is just figuring out how the film pieces together in the way that Paul originally envisioned it in the script, and like just making it as powerful and relatable to the audience as possible.
Great. Thank you so much, guys. I'm really excited to see the film, and best of luck in the rest of the BFA program. Thanks for sitting down with us. All right, when we come back, we'll have some entertainment news with Maggie Morlath, and Mike and I will be attempting to cook with Molly Miller. Stick around.
Welcome back. Now, what do Nicki Minaj, Bob Dylan, and Grumpy Cat have in common? Absolutely nothing. Except for the fact that Maggie Morlath is about to talk about all of them. Mags, take it away.
Thanks, Mike. The times, they are changing, but Bob Dylan is back to remind us that he is still the king of folk. That's right, Dylan's new album, Shadows in the Night, is set to release sometime in 2015. Earlier this year, Dylan released a cover of Frank Sinatra's Full Moon and Empty Arms, which has caused speculation that this upcoming LP may be a cover album. News of Shadows in the Night came in the form of an ad inserted into Dylan's new box set, The Basement Tapes Complete. Dylan is currently nearing the end of his never-ending tour, which began in June of 1988 and is set to end this December. While he still may be a voice of a generation, I'm interested in seeing how much of a voice the 73-year-old even has left. And Nicki Minaj just released the cover art of her upcoming album, The Pink Print, and it may just be the coolest Nicki-Kanye collaboration since Monster. Maybe. Nicki Instagrammed the cover art of the deluxe album with a shout-out and thank you to the Kanye West team. The artwork is subtle and literal and could definitely be the work of Kanye West's creative collective Donda. The simplistic pink thumbprint image is a definite contrast to the somewhat shocking art of her sexy single Anaconda. Besides Anaconda, the other confirmed tracks are her singles Pills and Potions and Only, which features Chris Brown, Drake, and Lil Wayne. Pink Print is set to release December 15th, a few weeks after its original release date of November 24th, but as long as Nikki returns to slay in the rap game, I don't mind waiting a little longer to watch the Queen conquer. So, Christmas is going to the cats? YouTube sensation on Meowvelous meme, Grumpy Cat, will be starring in a Lifetime movie titled Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever. The movie features Grumpy Cat, whose formal name is Tartar Sauce, as she reluctantly bonds with her 12-year-old owner, Crystal. Grumpy Cat is voiced by Aubrey Plaza of Parks and Rec, and I honestly couldn't think of a better deadpan actress to play a pissed-off pussy cat. The movie will be arriving at the end of a very successful year for Grumpy Cat, as she dropped her debut album and wrote a children's book this past summer. The film premieres on November 29th to kick off the Christmas season, but because I love Christmas and I don't love cats, I'm not so sure if I'll be watching. But this weekend, all of Chicago watched as Daredevil Nick Wallenda defied gravity and walked a tightrope between two skyscrapers. The two-part stunt started with a wire walk from Marina City's West Tower across the Chicago River to the Leo Burnett Building, about 600 feet off the ground. He completed this walk in just under 7 minutes before returning to the West Tower and walking across a wire to the East Tower, blindfolded. While impressive, the feat seemed like no biggie to Wallenda, who has set a number of acrobat and aerialist Guinness Book World Records. I guess this is all pretty cool and stuff. I'm just glad it wasn't too breezy in the Windy City that night. This has been Maximo with all the entertainment news you need to know.
Well, thank you so much, Magsmo. But I hear that Beyonce may be dropping a part 2 to the Secret album.
Yeah, this is actually huge news. So it may not necessarily be part 2, it may not necessarily be a separate album, but there's definitely confirmation that there will be a released box set, which is going to feature the album that she dropped last December. It's going to feature a DVD of the Mrs. Carter Show World Tour and some new tracks and remixes as well. So
We're so excited for that.
literally freaking out.
I'm also really excited because I saw, maybe a set list of the new album, and it looks pretty great. But thank you so much, Marge.
I know as little about that as me and Logan.
Yeah, I know. I see. Entertainment, sports.
That's why we work so
That's
well
why, yeah,
together.
we're a good balance. But what's better than warm, personally decorated cookies than on a bitingly cold Boston day?
Nothing.
Nothing, literally nothing. So Molly Miller is here to show us how to make some delicious treats with a Z.
Hi, my name is Molly Miller, and I'm your cooking correspondent. Today, we are going to make Nutella cookies, which are so easy, it is crazy. So first things first, you have to preheat the oven to 350. Right now, we're in Colonial, which is where we have all the kitchenware, and we have the oven. So it's a really great place to come if you ever just want to get your cooking on like I always do. There's 3 ingredients: egg, flour, Nutella. It's super easy. So we're going to start by taking your egg, it's 1 egg, and adding it to your Nutella. So you're gonna mix all this up until it's evenly distributed. You don't want that yolk visible as much. You want it to be evenly distributed throughout all of the Nutella and make it less watery. Perfect, okay. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and start combining our flour. So we're gonna go ahead and get my hands up in here. Ladies, don't worry about your manicure. So once you've combined the flour, Nutella, and the egg, you're gonna go ahead and start making individual cookie balls in about 2 inches, and then put them on the tray after you've buttered the tray or greased it, however you like. Start putting them about 2 inches apart from each other. Hey, if they're crumbly, which mine are a little bit, just add a little bit of water and that should fix the problem immediately. Now it's time to put your cookies in the oven. So you're gonna put them in. That oven is at 350, and you're gonna keep them in there for about 9 to... Once all your cookies are on the tray, it's time to put it in the oven, which is again at 350 degrees. And you're gonna put it in there for about 9 to 11 minutes until they're fully spread.
Well, Thank you, Molly. That looked awesome. I saw you were.
I like the little graphic that you
Yeah,
had at the
thank
end.
you.
To the cookies.
I saw you were in my building and you were cooking up a storm. So I'm nervous because Mike and I are not the best cooks.
Right.
So I'm glad that you already baked these and used the oven because
Yeah.
I should not be allowed to use the
Things
oven.
would go on fire if the two of us tried to get that to
Exactly.
happen.
Yeah.
So tell us, what are we going to be doing today?
So today I thought it'd be really fun if we had a cookie decorating contest. Oh. Yeah.
That would be really fun.
Yes.
Actually, great
Yes.
thought.
Yeah.
So when you're making cookies with your friends, it's always fun to decorate them afterwards. So I thought, let's just do it. Let's get right down to it.
All
I
right.
have
All right.
icing and sprinkles.
I like this guy right here.
Here, everyone can have a knife.
Are these good?
Yeah, they're great. They're Nutella
Just laying it
cookies.
right out there. Are these good?
I hope so.
I
sorry.
hear you can't eat these though because they're not gluten free and you're a glutard.
Yeah, I can't eat gluten, but you'll have to try them for me, Mike. It's funny, actually. I am not
Okay, I need to hurry.
like my my sisters and my mom are much better at all this like cookie decorating and crafting stuff.
Going
I have never
innovative.
had a propensity for.
A propensity? Did you
Yes,
just say
I
propensity?
said propensity.
The word
yeah.
of the day. Is
But I'm not great. So let's see how this turns out, Mike. You might actually win this one.
No, I
Probably
definitely am
not.
because I'm going innovative.
probably
Because
win.
nobody else thought of, well, I won't tell you.
So Molly, I like that I'm seeing these red and green sprinkles right here. I'm
it's
kind
Christmas.
of-
Like,
Yes.
what? It's
Yeah.
November 4th.
No, no.
Come on.
Christmas
It's
all year
It's
round.
way too
all the
early for
time.
that.
All the
I'm going
time.
to take some of this.
Never
I'm
all the
sorry if
time.
you were going to use
Never
this.
not Christmas.
I'm going to, like, smear some more on it.
Okay, all right.
Hey.
No, you know.
Compromising the competition.
Exactly.
I'm already compromising the competition.
All right.
It's going to happen.
I'm on my second one, so I'm a little ahead of the game.
I like
no,
these little
no, because
sugar.
nobody else thought of making a little sandwich. Did you think of making a sandwich?
Maybe.
No.
Maybe I did.
Because
I made a little pumpkin. He's a little pumpkin guy.
Hello.
I like your sandwich idea.
That's right,
So
thank
much
you.
more
Come
creative
on,
than Maddie's
Christian.
weird.
Let
me
It's just a
put
weird
a little-
conglomerate of glitter
It's
at this
nice.
point.
It'll
Here,
taste
let's,
yummy.
Let's
Here, would
throw
you
some
like-
of these
It's
on
not
there.
about how it looks, about how it tastes, right?
Yeah.
no,
Yes.
you're wrong.
Molly,
Sure, it's
right,
not gonna
Molly?
taste very
Right.
good.
But look at this. That's
That
good
does-
stuff.
All right.
Yeah, that is good
All right,
stuff.
let me taste them. Let me taste them.
Okay.
All right,
All
so
right.
me.
Well, yeah, you go, Mike.
I think that's a good cookie to
Oh,
icing
yum.
ratio.
All right.
That
Well,
looks
thank you
good.
so much, Molly, for being with
Of
us.
course.
That's all the time we have for today. Tune in Thursday. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Oh,
Mike.
Wow.
I can taste them.
Cookie
Do it
king.
back.
you're going to get stuff on your